All right, so I'm gonna tell you guys about a story that recently something happened to me recently, and it really showed me a different side of how some business are when it comes on to abusing customers. And I just want to know if I want y'all like perspective and to hear your story if you have any of them. So to be more specific, this happened in Jamaica, um, Montego Bay. Some people who know some of these phone places, then you may have a similar experience. Now, I could not have thought about a better way to continue our storytime playlist other than providing a story of my own. All right, so the situation started back in December, um, right around like probably a couple of days or a week before Christmas. No, I think it was about a week or 2 weeks before Christmas. I can't remember, but it was before Christmas. So, for those who know, I'm an educator. So my school was having like a day for children and the parents to come out and have fun. We call it Fun Day here. So because I don't have a console, I borrowed my friend's console to use. So I took it to school the next day after I picked it up from him, and then after that I went home. So I was planning to just keep it for the weekend because it was close to the weekend anyway, and then just get it back to him on Monday. Now, what happened is that the next day, I think the next day was a Saturday. I think the next day was either a Friday. Yeah, I think the next day was a Saturday. Yes, the next day was a Saturday. So what happened was that after that Friday, when we had the event, the Saturday, I believe it was in the night on that Friday, I had asked him like, "Yo, can I keep it for a couple extra days?" But he said no because like he's bored and stuff like that, which I do understand. So I said that I would definitely get it to him as soon as possible. Now, the next day, the reason why I didn't actually bring it to give it back to him was because me and my girlfriend, we were going somewhere and it was poor weather. So I know that, traveling with a PS5, it's heavy by the way, and it's big. So traveling with it, I didn't want to risk traveling with it and something happened. I'm not able to like give in, and then I would have the back, or I would get wet or something. I just didn't want to risk not going directly to him and just have it on me. So that's why I didn't take it. Anyways, so we went out and we did what we had to do, and then we went to Burger King and we ate there. So during the middle of our meal, or as we got our meal and started eating, bro, like she got a call. Turns out the call was from her landlord or landlord, and she said that the yard is flooded and our apartment is flooded and everybody else's apartment is flooded, bro. I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would our place be flooded out? It's not like we left any pipes on or anything. But anyways, she is someone that panics easily, and she overthinks a lot. So she was like, you know what? Let's go. So, bruh, I had to finish my burger because I was enjoying my burger and my fry. So after I finished the fries and I started the burger, I said, you know what? Let's go. But we had to walk. For those who know the hip strip, we walk on Bottom Road. Go down, get a cab. We went home. When we got home, shit, bro, we saw the yard flooded like it was heavy rainfall. and we saw the neighbor's door open, and he had a broom. He was sweeping. Turns out he was sweeping out water. So we like asked him, like what happened, what he knows. He said that he was just there, and then he saw water just start coming in his place. He said that he tried to like leak out some of the water from our apartment by like stuffing something under the door, but that didn't help. So after that, so after done talking to him, we went around. My girlfriend opened the door, and bruh, it was like a pool burst. That's the best way I can describe it. The water was just rushing out, bro. Like it was dying to be released. So much water, man. So a PC was on the floor. My TV was on the floor. The PS5 was on the floor, and both controllers were on the floor, plus a bunch of chargers, charger heads, and some extension ports, and a bunch of shoes, a duffel bag with some stuff, some documents, some other parts. Bruh, a lot of shit got wet and damaged. Now, immediately once we got in, we just started sweeping. Now, when we got inside, we the pipe was still running on for it. Well, no, it wasn't running. What happened was that the pipe was off. Yeah, it was off because I remember the landlord was telling my girlfriend that her mother, because the landlord's mother lives on the apartment, so she turned the main pipe off. But when we got into the kitchen, we noticed that it was a pipe that we looked at earlier in the day before we left. So we had recently installed a washing machine. Um, so what happened was that the night before when we installed the machine, it was leaking. Like it didn't fit the tap properly. So water would leak through even though it's on tight. So the next day we called a plumber that lives in the area because we live in a gated community. So called him, and he came, looked at it, and he applied thread tape, and everything was good. But what I didn't notice when I was there with him looking at it is that it was left on, but and it wasn't turned off. So even though the water wasn't going anywhere, it's like pressure built up and it burst the pipe off. Now, so it's like the hose that was attached to the tap swelled, and then it blew off and the place just started flooding. So that's the best way I can really picture what happened, because that's what happened. Now, after we figured out what happened and we started sweeping, it took us a while to get all the water out to clean the place. So after all the water was out, I started inspecting everything that was on the ground that was electronic. And when I went to investigate, what I noticed was that the water came up to about 5 inches. 5 inches. So it was about 5 inches of water. And when I like lift up everything, soap, bro, like the good thing is the PS5 was standing upright. So not everything got wet. You know what I'm saying? Not everything got wet. It was only, well, I'm gonna get to that. I'm not gonna give that part away. Now, some of you may be asking, why the fuck would you have your TV on the floor? Now, I have two locations: the apartment here that I stay with my girlfriend, and I have a house. But I don't live there with my girlfriend because my dad stays there. Right? Now, the night before the fun day, I had asked the driver to take my TV to me because with my girlfriend we don't watch the television, so I never saw a need to like take it. I've always said that I would purchase a console or whatever. But anyways, that's the reason why it was on the floor. Now, after all of that, I told my friend like after I came in and settled down. I think I sent him a video I took when we were walking through the water, and I told him what happened. So
The next day.
he said, "You know what? Bring it. Let's look at it." Man, I brought the game to the guy, but before I brought it to him, I was trying to like take off the side panels, but it was really hard to come off. However, I only managed to like take off one side, and that's the side where the logo is. So I only like wiped off whatever was there, and I dismantled two of the controllers. I could not get past the board because the I don't know what you call them, but the plug-in connectors to the circuit board were so difficult to remove. I didn't want to rip them off, so I just left it alone. Dry all the water I could and then put it back together. I went to the dude's house. I'm not gonna say his name because he's very popular on social media, and a lot of people will know him. So I'm not gonna say his name. And he also wants to keep a healthy relationship with these people that the incident happened with. But so I'm gonna respect that. So we'll just call him Bill. Anyways, so I went to Bill's house, and guy said he was gonna look at it prior to me getting there. Got there, my guy just took it up, went to plug it in, and put it back down, and that was it. I'm like, this motherfucker, bro. You said you were gonna look at the thing to see what you can do. I was expecting my guy to like dismantle stuff, and we would just sit there try to figure it out. Bro, I even bought food so that we could have something to eat while we work, and all we did was just sit, watch TV, and talk, bro. After he plugged it in the wall and checked it. Anyways, I asked him if he knew anywhere I could go to like have it checked out, and he recommended me to this guy. So he called the store. They sell phones mainly. Mostly, a lot of you, for Jamaicans that are watching this or live in this area, the Montego region or been to Montego Bay or work there, you probably know of this store. It's located upstairs across from Best Care Pharmacy. So you guys may know that phone store. So we went there. The guy said it was like 5,000 Jamaican to check it out, and we went, gave it to the guy. The guy checked it out, and he said that hey, it's the power supply that's damaged, so we would have to replace it. And I said okay. Um, so I didn't have any cash on me. I do not like walking with cash anyways, and I keep my I love the sense of security. So when I was supposed to pay the guy, didn't have enough cash, so I ended up having to go into the ATM. So the same guy who looked at the game followed me to the ATM so that I wouldn't have to come back. Or probably he just thought that I would run away and never pay him. Either way, he came. So Bill dropped us off at the ATM and then he went home after I explained. Well, he didn't drop us, he dropped me. The other guy walked. So I explained to him what the guy said and what we're gonna do to move forward. So while I was there in the line waiting, the guy showed up and we were talking. And he said to me that when I'm bringing back the game to replace the power supply, I should take the same amount of money and $2,500 extra. This is Jamaican, by the way, to like clean the game because yeah, it was dirty for real. So Bill didn't clean this game. I wanted to personally clean it, just to do something before the incident happened, just to do something to, because I treat people's property as how I would want mine to be treated. But anyways, or I treat it like it's my own. You get the idea. Anyways, so about a month after the part finally came, and I went there. So I went up there and When I went up, I saw the guy outside the store, and I said to him, "Yo, I'm here. Place the power supply. I only want it to be replaced." And at that time, he said 6,000. So Jamaican have this thing when they say like, "How much money tell you again?" And he said 6K. I'm saying I didn't even contest it, to be honest, because I was like, "Yo, it's only $1,000 more." So, anyways, we went in, gave him the game, and I gave him the part. He went to do what he has to do. Now, prior to me bringing it there, I did manage to take off the panel, the other side panel, and I tried to replace the power supply myself. But my biggest obstacle was I didn't have the correct screwdriver, so I wasn't able to get most of the screws out. So what I did was when I got the screws out the fan, and then when I tried to take out the fan, I realized that it's just like the controller. So I left it. Didn't bother to try pulling anything more. Then I just put back the screws I took out. However, when I'm no go back to the day of me trying to get the part replaced, the guy came back to me and said, "Hey, the connector for the fan and the motherboard is broken off completely." So that wasn't me. He actually broke it off completely. Because when I tested it before, I didn't plug it in, but I made sure to test the thing if I broke it before putting it back together. However, I didn't say anything much when he did that. I just looked at it, and he asked me like, "Who pulled the game?" And I said I pulled it to clean it, and that's the only thing I did, which is true. My girlfriend was here when I did it, and if I broke it, I would have just told him from the start that I broke it. I know it wasn't broken. Anyways, he said that it's a hard job. I said I know how to fix it. I just don't have the tools because I do know how to fix it. Anyways, he said that I'm gonna have to put something more on the $6,000 because this is a different issue. I said, "All right, no problem." And I said, before I said, "All right, no problem," I said to him, "Yo, bro, you only have 8 grand for me, bro." No, like, I only have 8 grand. And he said, "All right," and he went to continue. Now, after the guy was almost finished, he came back and he said, "Now I forgot put little more on it." So basically, he's saying that I should put some more money on the now $8,000, right? Didn't tell me how much specific, just said I should put something more on it. So I made a call, and then what I did was I put 2,000 more on it because that's most of the cash I had on me. The rest was for travel and expenses and other expenses. So what happened now when he fully fixed the game and he brought it to the counter? I had the money wrapped up and I was handing it to him to then take the game. He asked me, "How much money is this?" And I said, $10,000. And he said, "No, I'm gonna have to try to find 8 more." I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, I told you prior that I only had $8,000, and I still managed to come up with 2 more after he said, "Put that thing on it, bro." Now, guys, tell me if I am wrong. Let me know I'm wrong. From the moment I saw this guy, I told him like, "Yo, this is the situation. This is what's going on." There has never been a moment of the interaction where I tried to cheat him or anything. I made it clear as it relates to what I wanted, where I stand, and what I could do. Now, what happened after that was that this motherfucker came around, yapping his mouth. His name is Jamar. I think he's the one who owns the store or whatever. Fuck this nigga, man. This nigga is full of shit, bro. And it's so sad for Bill that he's partners or whatever with these people because they're fucking dipshits, bro. Now, the other guy came around talking about he told Bill if it was 12 grand to replace the part or whatever. And bear in mind, I never spoke with this guy. It was the same guy who looked at the game I spoke with, and as I told you the price earlier. Now I was there talking to the other dude, the one that dealt with the issue for me, and remember first I said he said 18, then he said at least come up with five more doors. And then I got a couple seconds of going back and forth with him. That same motherfucker came back and said that he told Bill 15,000 to change the part, and it's what 21,000 in total now. I should pay him to deal with the issues. And I said, bro, I don't have any more money. I'm not gonna pay shit more because I did make it clear before you fix the second issue that this is the amount of money I have. Now, guys, if you know that what I'm offering you to carry out a service isn't satisfactory for you, why would you still carry out the service, bro? Why would you still carry out the service? Now, what happened after that is that they decided that, yo, they were going to hold on to the game until I brought the rest of the money that they requested. And I said, yo, that's not going to work. Then I even went as far as suggesting to them, you know what, give me back my money, undo the work you did, and I'll go somewhere else. I even went as far as suggesting that, and they said, oh no, I'm not getting any money back, but they would mash it up or whatever, destroy it over or whatever. So I said, yo, that's not gonna work. So I stopped talking, I walked out the store, and I went to the police station. I went to the Barnett Street police station, and I made a report to officers that were there on duty. Now, after I did that, it wasn't a formal report because they didn't write anything in the book, but an officer was nice enough to escort me back to the store. Now, I really wish this guy was the one who dealt with the situation fully, and you're gonna understand why I said that. Because he's saying the more informed and assertive, and I respected that. Not many police officers will give a fuck about civilians unless you have something to give them. But I didn't get that from him, which I appreciated a whole lot. So if by any chance this officer, I forgot his name, but if by any chance you see this video, I really do appreciate you for taking the time to try and assist me. I understand that, you had other things to attend to, but nonetheless, based off the energy that I got from you, I could tell that you were doing this because you wanted to, and it was your duty. So more officers should be like you. Anyways, when myself and the officer went back to the shop, the guy was gone. Now, when we asked, they said, "Oh, he's gone on the road." Some didn't know whether he went home or whatever. Tried to call him, no one got through. We were there for a couple minutes until the officer decided to leave and go back to the station because he was dealing with something before I got there. However, he left, and after the officer left, literally less than a minute, the guy shows up. So I don't know if he was lurking somewhere watching or whatever. So the before the officer left, he gave me the number to call the station to let him know that the guy got back. So I called the station. At the time when I called the station, he wasn't there as it because like I said, after the officer left, less than a minute, he showed up. So I called the station. The guy, another officer answered and said that he's not in right now. I did give a description of who I was because as less than 10 minutes ago, I was just in there. So I was there for a while, about 5 minutes or so, and then I decided to walk back to the station to find out if he was there or not, rather than calling again because the guy that answered the phone sounded annoyed. So I'm not one to S people or stuff like that. I don't like it. Anyways, I went back, told him that yo, the guy's here. So what he did was he called two young police officers that were on patrol duty for the city, and he gave them a description of me and told them to meet me by the store. So by the time I got back down to the store, we met at the stairs to go up, and I identified myself and we went in. Now this is the reason why I said I wish the first guy had handled it, because when we went inside with the young officers, these motherfuckers were like more of leaning to the technician side rather than upholding the law, bro. Rather than enforcing the law or educating, those persons on what happened. Because they were even the persons who work in the place were even threatening to destroy the game, and then collect service charge for the amount. So I even said mention that to the first officer before he left, and he did educate me that, because I asked him if they destroy the game after it's fixed without my consent, would that be tampering? And he said that would be destruction of property with malicious intent. So he educated me on that right there, and those stupid motherfuckers didn't even don't even have a clue of half of the shit that we're talking about and threatening to do. But I didn't really say shit because I'm not one to argue. Like, I'm a silent person when I get mad, bro. I will get physical, but I'm not gonna curse with you. Like, I I know some of you are gonna come in the comments and say all sorts of bullshit. Now, I don't condone violence, especially not domestic violence. So don't even go there. But if somebody want to square up, bro, I'm not backing down. Anyways, they came in, they were talking to the technician. I explained myself to the guy before he go in so he could be, briefed on the situation. Based on how the interaction went, they didn't do much to help, unfortunately. They even came to me and asking me if I can't work something out with the guy, you know, that suggests that I should pay the guy something. Like, bro, I told the dude how much money I had before. Why would I go back and pay you if you come to me and say that, yo, what I paid you is not satisfactory? Like, I don't get it. But, anyways, what happened after was that he decides that he's not gonna give me the game and I need to pay. And the officer said, well, if you can't come to an agreement, it's gonna go to court. And of course, I said I would go to court because I'm in the right here. It's not a case where I told you, yeah, do the work, man, do the work, I'll pay. No, I told you exactly the amount of money I had to spend before you completed the work. So if you knew that what I was offering wasn't enough, you shouldn't have done it. That was my point. And that's why I felt like I was extorted, bro. I felt like I was being extorted. And that's why I said, you know what, let's go to court because I'm not gonna pay a dime more. Because this is fucked up and this is not how you treat customers. This is not this is this is like downright stealing, bro. Like, you tell me one thing, then you go tell somebody else a different thing. Like, these motherfuckers are pieces of shit, bro. And while I was in the shop waiting for my game to be fixed, a customer came in, so she bought a phone Saturday. She bought the phone on Saturday, then had to hold on. No, she bought the phone. Let's say she bought the phone on Wednesday. Then by Friday, she had to go back to the shop because the speaker of the phone stopped working. They fixed the speaker of the phone on Friday. Now, Monday, she had to go back to the shop because the phone won't work anymore. Now, I was there listening to their interaction, even though I wasn't saying anything. And In my opinion, I believe that they should have replaced that phone, being that it came up with two consistent or two consecutive issues. I really believe they should have changed the phone, because even when the young lady said, you know, she's not comfortable with the phone, you like having it repaired and fixed, they didn't care, bro. Like, my guy said the fucking phone was good, it was okay, but still he dismantled the phone and was doing something. Now that's one of the other technicians that was around there. Now, if nothing is wrong with the phone, what the fuck are you fixing? Even though she said she wasn't comfortable with them doing that, just replace the phone, they didn't do it. Now, bruh, that's fucked up. And that's shitty customer service, if you ask me. That's poor business, bro. Like, people are spending hard-earned money out here. Some people are spending hard-earned money. The next customer came in, something was wrong with his phone, he wanted somebody to look at it. One of the technicians that greeted him to take the job, he took the guy's phone, went to put it on charge. Like, the phone didn't seem like it wanted to be charged, because the old guy came in and he was talking to me and telling me what was going on, stuff like that. Anyways, that technician went outside to chat to someone else rather than addressing the guy, like talking to him and stuff like that. Then after a few minutes, he came back in and the old guy had to just approach him and ask, like, what's going on, what can be done, whatever. Then he went around, mind you, he said he was charging the phone, so they really didn't do shit. And I don't know what the fuck he was doing. After me and the guy was there talking, reasoning stuff out, he decided that he's just gonna fucking leave. Because the only reason why he came there was because he went to a different shop before, but the person he went to see wasn't there. That's why he ended up here. So he took his phone and left, and I think he made the right choice. Because those motherfuckers up there, bro, they have poor business knowledge and they have no customer service whatsoever. Like, I don't understand how you can do business like that. If your work is 15K, value your work for 15K. Don't go tell somebody, put something on it, and expect to get $1 million for what you did. Bro, value your work so that your customers are aware of whatever expenses they're being thrown into. These motherfuckers don't even have a fine print because there's nothing to fucking read. He's just said put something on it, but has an expectation. Like, that's a breach of agreement or contract. Now, guys, like I said, let me know in the comments what you guys think. What would you do? Have you ever been in a situation like this? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, now would be a great time to do so. And be sure to drop a like on the video. I'll see you in the next one.